Here is just one of many artifacts that come straight from the Prophet Noble Drali's hand. These are our corporate seals. This is the original Moorish Science Temple of America, Temple number 1. And everybody around the country knows that. The date on these seals, and you can read it there for yourself. It's heavy.
I wasn't ready. What is July 18th, 1920. That's the originality.
It's originality.
So with the Moorish Science Temple being the original from which this movement sprang, how did these other groups come about? Some of these groups that we see now that people would consider fringe.
One word: vanity. Our Prophet Noble Drali teaches us that vanity is beyond them all. Unfortunately for those who never had a position of doing anything, find it very easy and simple when the central authority is not at its full peak of regulating the activities of our organization. They feel that, oh man, I can come and put my shingles on the front door, now I'm the Moorish Science Temple of America. No, I'm the Moorish Science Temple of America. Now I'm the Moorish Science Temple of America. What will stop that permanently and adequately is when we stand up in great numbers and say, you can no longer do that and dupe the people. So we're gonna keep on sticking and jabbing, bobbing and weaving.
Islam.
In the name of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice.
Indeed. As the Moorish Science Temple of America, do you feel any sense of obligation to check those, I guess, fringe Moor groups?
Oh yeah, we check them all the time. All the time. They don't want to be checked, but we check them all the time.
What does that look like? And what do they say?
It looks like you being caught with your hand in a cookie jar. And we see you with your hand in a cookie jar. And you still lie that that's not your hand. But your hand is in the cookie jar.
So they deny it.
They deny it. We're looking at you. Oh, it's not my hand. Unfortunately, we have people out there charging our people enormous amount of money to get their nationality card, $300, $400, and the price goes up. But you have people, vanity, greedy, criminals. That's what they are. They like a tumor on the body of the state, a malignant tumor. They suck on the innocent people, unfortunately. The people who really sincerely want to know, they have that thing in their eye like you have in yours, like, I really need to know more for me. I really need to know more. I'm craving to know more about me. And they take advantage of people who are really sincere. That's wrong. They'll pay. They will pay. Another response may be, well, let me convince you of how this really goes. And they have no bottom. They have no convincing. They have nothing to convince us with. Well, this and this. See, here's how we categorize things. Here is the Prophet Noble Drali's teachings. And here is the mere ideas of man. So when they come like that, we say, you're in the thought of the mere ideas of man. We accept our Prophet Noble Drali as divine, holy and divine, prepared by Allah himself, custom made down to the bone. So if he said it, we're gonna do it. And it's too many of us for you to disagree with us. There are so many Moorish Americans in the country here that we can't even count them up, generations. And many of them are CIA, FBI, ATA, doctors, lawyers, nurses, successful business people, certified public accountants. I mean, we have a variety of law-abiding members of the Moorish Science Temple of America which I never could understand how you let a handful of people, like some people we hear in the news, go in and take somebody's house. Oh, that's all the Moorish Americans. All of them doing the same things. It's not fair. So that's all they say, and they continue to do the wrong thing. But we believe this, that Allah Almighty is the only one that gives justice to us all. And you will receive your just deed for your works that you do, whether it's good or bad. It's like when you do a woman wrong, their motto is, you're going to get yours.
You're going to get yours.
Yeah, you're going to get yours one day.
You're going to get yours.
Man, how many times have you been told that by our significant others? You're going to get yours.
When the Moorish Science Temple of America was founded, shortly after that, there were a number of other organizations founded with similar purposes of upliftment of our people.
You're exactly right.
And one of them was the Nation of Islam.
Of course, it should be common knowledge now. I mean, we've sent out the list of who paid their per capita tax in Detroit, Temple number 4, Elijah Poole Bey and his brothers and his wife, and even the Light Olive Moore, what's his name? The salesman.
Farad Muhammad?
Yeah, him. He's on there too. I mean, the picture, this is 1928. There was nowhere else to go in terms of liberating our people. And this group and other groups presented programs to them, but they were many excerpts from Drew Ali's program, many of them. But what they failed to give our people, which is most needed because our problem is unique. Let's face it, it's unique. You have no nationality. They failed to give them that nationality. They failed to do that. Marcus Garvey even said that. He said the so-called Negro needs a nationality, just like the Chinese, just like the British. He says, we need to go back to the God of Africa, Allah, the God of Africa. He said, but I'm not the one to do that. There's someone coming after me that will do that, and that was the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Now, when you read this book, which I'm going to recommend you, it's called They Seek a City by Anna Bontemps. And then here's another one, Black Gods of the Metropolis by Arthur Fawcett, Doubleday Publishing Company. They talk about Elijah Muhammad, not Elijah Muhammad, but Farad Muhammad and him. They say in their book, they say that when the Prophet passed in 1929, July 20th, 1929, by 1930, this is what they say in their book, that Farad was walking around saying that he was Noble Drew Ali reincarnated. Nobody had a program for our people that was so powerful then, and even now, till Noble Drew Ali brought it. So many more, there was so much infighting when he passed. So much infighting, they broke away into small groups and started trying to get their own thing together because they had, as they thought, destroyed the central authority. We're back at that again. The Supreme Grand Council, the Sheik Board, the Board of Directors. You need central authority in any organization. When that central authority was dumped, if you will, that's when it started. Elijah was a member of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Speaking of Elijah Poole Bey, according to those books, according to our personal records. And that's on the internet. But let's go back to the source of how this more than likely began. It began when there was a group of people who had outside interests. Because when the Prophet Noble Drew Ali put the Moorish Science Temple of America, so to speak, on the railroad track, it was a locomotive that couldn't be stopped. Then they knew it couldn't be stopped. So to change the track to another level, or to take this track and connect it to that track and they could go that way, became their goal. And they were rich and powerful. The central authority, which is the Supreme Grand Council, was undermined by even the members here. There were turmoil, there was conflict from those who was heavily involved in being vain anyway, and heavily involved in doing what the outside interests wanted done. Because it was on paper, it still is so effective of answering the Negro problem. That for those who are in power with money and other things, to let this go on would mean they would be destroyed. And for example, one in particular, he would lose his money in terms of growing cotton and making clothes and buying buildings and being known as a philanthropist and controlling all grassroots organizations according to Saul Alinsky's works.
So can I just interrupt you here, just to clarify the trajectory that you're going on? So basically, you're saying when the noble prophet Drew Ali created the Moorish Science Temple of America, it was to solve the Negro problem, quote unquote Negro problem.
Yes.
And there were some people that said, we can't have this.
Exactly.
No, we need them to stay in their place.
Exactly.
There's no way we could have them understanding who they are as a people.
Exactly.
And I agree. Now, would you say, Supreme Grand Sheik, that you would agree race is a construct? It's not real, the idea of black and white as you have mentioned. In the streets, other people conduct themselves in a way that make it real, practically. Now, we can say we're Moors, but that cop, he sees me as black, and if I say I am a Moorish American citizen, is that gonna prevent him from going upside my head with that billy club?
In this chapter, we've uncovered how these offshoots and Moorish extremists sway far from the foundational teachings of the Moorish Science Temple of America. A key aspect that connects to our next video in this series is the Moorish Science Temple of America's approach to racial issues. Supreme Grand Sheik E. Braswell Bey explores how the Moorish Science Temple of America protects its members and addresses racial discord, which drastically differs from the approaches of Moorish extremists and fringe groups. The video will go live on YouTube weeks from now, but you can watch it right now on Amexem All Access, where we post all of our content first. Here's why this is exciting. Amexem All Access is a streaming service we have built and are expanding with evidence-based lessons that have proven to be extremely effective at helping the personal transformation of others. What started as a passion project in 2018 has grown into an ongoing journey that allows us to create more ambitious projects than we could with YouTube alone.
The 14th and 15th Amendment does not address citizens of the United States of America. It addresses U.S. citizens. The Prophet Noble Drew Ali is specifically referring to us as citizens of the United States of America, and that, of course, is on our nationality identification card.
She took a sampling of different mummies to find that these mummies had ingested coca, the coca leaf. They also found high rates of tobacco, not African tobacco, American tobacco. Nile Valley civilization was in trade with different indigenous peoples in the Americas.
The Moorish Science Temple of America in 1913 created the corporation Moorish Science Temple of America of 1928, and they created it for a purpose. The United States of America created the United States for a purpose, and the purpose was that now we're gonna create a federal government out of this here.
If you sign up using the link on the screen right now, you will save more than $15 per year, which means it will cost you only $3.66 each month. That way, you can support this ambitious platform that we have been building since 2018 and help us continue to produce insightful content to help you in your everyday life. Thank you so much for watching. Peace and love.